If you watch this channel for a while, you know that I'm a big fan of museums, most particularly aviation museums. And in this video, I'm gonna name my top 3 aviation museums. I've been to quite a few, I think 15 or 20, something like that. I've been to the Air Force Museum, which is probably the biggest, and also some RAF museums. Naval Aviation Museum down in Florida, and some small ones like some of those museums aboard aircraft carriers. What makes a museum good for me? Well, number one is, of course, the quality and quantity of the aircraft. Or do you have access to them? If you're like me, you like to take photos of the things you see. Do you have access to the airplanes you want to get photos of? Unfortunately, those hanging from the ceiling, you can't very well get good photos. And in other cases, like the Air Force Museum, for instance, sometimes they are so close together, you might not even be able to get a good 3/4 view. That is another thing that I think about when I'm thinking about my favorite airplane museums. Another thing is, are the planes pristine? Are they missing parts and things like that? Sometimes in some of the older museums, particularly those that are manned by volunteers only, in small airfields, tires will be flat, paint will be really faded. They don't have the volunteers and manpower to maintain it. However, I love visiting those anyway, because frequently you'll find some things there that you don't see anywhere else. For instance, at the Castle Museum in California, there's a trainer version of F-104 Starfighter. You don't see those around most everywhere. Another thing I think about is, what about the signage, the information there? Is it give it a full information about the aircraft? Pick a time to go when it's not a busy time. By all means, always skip spring breaks for schools and stuff. How many hands-on activities are they? How would you like to sit on a Spitfire and put together the recon photos that were taken by a plane? It's like a big puzzle, and you put them all together to create the map for the ground forces. These are the things that I look for when I pick my favorite museums. My favorite museums? Well, I gotta say, the Pima Space and Air Museum near Tucson, Arizona is one of my favorites. It has over 325 aircraft. Many are outside. Bear in mind, desert air is good to things. Inside is a great collection of World War II and other civilian aircraft. I really like this museum. Of course, the Smithsonian Museums, and I'll include both locations here, are the pristine. These are the collections of America's airplanes, not just military, but civilian aircraft as well. You got those famous ones, of course, the Wright Flyer, the Spirit of St. Louis, and airplanes like that available, as well as space modules. The Enola Gay is there. But that is probably number 2. Number 3, I like the Museum of Navy Aviation in Pensacola, Florida. And I've got a little bias there. I did spend time in the Navy. But there are many beautiful, well-planned, interesting museums around. Those just happen to be my top 3. Now, get out there and visit an aviation museum. You'll be glad you did. Hi, did you like this video? And I hope you did. How about a big thumbs up? And a comment too. Didn't like it? Let me know why. See you next time.